Hello, I am Sharm, the second owner of the plugin called EasyMeshEmit, and today I'm gonna show you how to port your meshes into the Moon Animator. Simply, we don't have a system to directly port them into the Moon Animator, but you still can do it, and it's not as hard as you think. So, for example, I have this preset mesh that I got from a commission that I did. And then we have this animation. For example, I want, let me just do this. I want a mesh appearing right here. What are we gonna do? So, first of all, we need to put down an event. What events are ignore that. What events are just code blocks. Basically, there are points in the animations you can call. For example, I want this mesh here. For example, but you don't need to do this if you're only gonna do it in Moon Animator. You don't have to name it, you don't have to do anything. What you're gonna do is press code begin and then port something real quick that I'm gonna make right now. So here we have our meshes, right? So we're gonna align them. You don't have to necessarily align them. I'm just gonna do it so I can look how they look with the animation. For example, like this. I'm happy with this. So I'm gonna press the bake. Then I get this script, you know? This script is basically just the mesh. So instead of I do this, you can do this, but it's not really good. Like you can just manually select it. I'm gonna press Ctrl A, and it's gonna select the entire script fully. Then I press Ctrl C to copy it, or just do this. Then I go into here and paste into a module. You can call it a module whatever. I'm gonna call it mesh for simply the reason it's a mesh. And then I press again Ctrl A to select everything in the script and press Ctrl V to paste it in. Why can't we just use this one? Because this one doesn't technically exist. Because if we were to put it inside the folder we select when baking, it would require script injection. And we don't want to do that because our plugin is obfuscated and it's a security risk for everyone who's using it. So basically, we have this mesh baked. So what we are gonna do now is, if you are really struggling with scripting, I would recommend using a script for this. And I press, then I type require. So what require actually does is requiring the module. So if I do workspace dot is just workspace, and then I just run it like this in the run command, go to you see, attempt to call, invalid arguments, blah blah blah, so on. But if we require the module itself, then without anything, it's just gonna emit. It's gonna emit at the 0 points. I don't know where that is. Let me just check. Position 0. Okay, so we are here. Oh, it doesn't emit even. Okay, so it doesn't matter if it's nil. Okay, here you go. It just doesn't show the error for some reason. I don't know why. But if we just give it invalid arguments, it's gonna default to 0. So what are we gonna do is just, okay, so we are gonna make a path. So what the path is, it is based on child parent. Workspace is the parent of everything. So to make a path, we just do this. Workspace dot, we see here template R6, right? So it just goes down to this. So we're gonna do template R6 dot humanoid root part. So basically the main point of the rig that holds everything. And when you use properties, like anything in the properties of the part and inside the part are children. So I can just do root attachment. So I'm gonna call this, or I can just simply do C-frame, aka the properties of the position of the rig, aka it's 0.3. So if I do this, if I say to Warren workspace dot template R6, then humanoid, then C-frame, so I get this. This one is, I think it's orientation. It's just studio junk. So basically what we're gonna do is, what I usually do is I don't actually script it in here. I just do it in the run command, but it's just harder. So what I do is just run it. So you see it's positioning around here, but I don't want it to be here. I want it behind them. So what I'm gonna do is C-frame dot new. What it's gonna do is it's just gonna plus or minus the C-frame. So basically if I do this, then it's gonna be here. So I'm just gonna move it. I'm moving it. So if you accidentally, by the way, press like this and it just removes itself, like you just do this and you see it's like this, you just either scroll up or arrow up or arrow down. So I wanted it behind them. See, I positioned them, but what if the angle is bad? For example, it is looking up, but we need it to look down. So what we use is gonna be C-frame dot angles. It doesn't matter what is first, the C-frame dot new or the C-frame dot angles. It's gonna work either way. So what I'm gonna do now is what I usually do to make the VFX more random, so it looks differently every time. So what we have this. Okay, so just fill it as out so it doesn't give an error. You see, it always goes the same. Like, because of the random angle I have set up, it doesn't, but the startup is always the same. We don't want that. So what we're gonna do is fill up this math dot random. I usually do this. I don't recommend doing this, but if it's just VFX, then I think it's alright to do this. But it's an outdated thing. I don't do this. It's like, so you see, it's now random fully. The start is random, the end is random. And to prove this, I'm gonna replace this one with math random. You see, now it looks fully randomized, right? So I'm gonna just go back here and put it here. Then I'm gonna Control C this. Remember, you can do it in here. It doesn't matter where you do it. Honestly, it doesn't really matter. You can do it either here. All you need to do is just make sure the paths are correct, the right C-frame is selected, and then we just copy this and go in here, code begin, paste this in, and then okay. And here we go. Our mesh is successfully in this animation. So, okay, you might have a question. How do I even make a mesh? Well, it's simple. It's really is simple. What our plugin does is scans for two meshes. I'm gonna just copy this and put it in here for showcase reasons. So what our plugin does is checks for a module, a folder. It doesn't really matter. It can be anything, I think. But I recommend using models because it's just easier to manage, and you can scale them like this. You can just scale them up. So what you're gonna do is get a mesh, any kind of mesh. Any mesh works. Special meshes work, I think. I'm sure of it. They work, the regular meshes work, so we're just gonna do is get a mesh. I'm gonna just rip this mesh off and delete this one. So we have a start mesh, right? starting mesh. So what I'm gonna do is just make this like that, and then I'm gonna duplicate it, and then I'm gonna transform like into this, right? So it should go from point this to point that. So I'm gonna leave this name as start and rename this into the end. Then I select both of them. I can, yeah, and Control G. You can use this, but you can also use Control G. It's really easy to do meshes. I just don't know how people don't. So we go into here and press emit, right? So it just works, right? I do apply, it works. It goes from point A to point B. I can just go and like tweak it. Like if it's a wind, I'm just gonna do this, then I'm gonna do that and that, apply, and it works, right? So what if I don't know? So looping it just works, right? So yeah, that's just the mesh. That's really the thing. That's really easy to do. About decal mesh like this. This decal mesh. I'm gonna show you too how to make this one. So this one is using special mesh because of the decal positioning. Because you cannot. It doesn't position really good. Of the fucking regular mesh, right? So I'm just gonna do this. Then I'm gonna. And I'll do this, and then do this. Same thing. I'm just randomly mashing buttons. Then I'm just gonna set the transparency to 0. You see, it already has a baked. I don't know why. Oh no, I know why, because I have used flipbook on this mesh and I just reused it for something else. So I'm just gonna decal mesh blah 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 blah. So it doesn't matter what it's called. It's gonna bake either way. Of course, there are probably some exceptions to this, like numbers or something. No, you can use numbers, of course. You can use any symbol if you want. Even Russian letters, or I don't know, like wendings or something. It should work either way. So you see, it works. It works. Same thing works here. Apply, mesh, apply. It just works. There's literally no limit to this. You can do flipbooks. It will work the same with flipbooks. I just don't have the textures on me right now, and I'm not gonna have them because I don't have a lot of flipbook textures. So it just works. You see, you can do different meshes. And I recommend storing them into a folder or replicated storage. So the only downside to this, if I change it to this, it's gonna break fully. Like it's gonna fully break. You see, it's because you cannot find a path. You have to change it. So, like if I put it in the camera, I just camera, and then, I did something wrong. Workspace is not valid. Oh yeah. It fully breaks because it scans in workspace. Workspace, yeah, find first child. Oh no, it's this one. Yeah, it scans it. It scans it directionally. So I have to use this without changes. If you want to like change it, you go into the mesh module and change this. Or just rebake it. I recommend rebaking because there's a bug that if I just do this and like delete half of the code, it's still gonna work because Roblox is really dumb with modules, and they don't update it at all. Like they don't update the modules in edit mode. They only update it when studio's running. So basically, I recommend always rebaking them. If you want to change like locations to, let's just say, replicated storage or something like that, you have to change it because otherwise it's one war. But here we go. Yeah, it's not that hard to put it in Moon Animator. That's it. That's basically it. I hope this video was informational.